The testimony you are about to listen to is that of a lady who had an encounter with Jesus, and what he told her concerning his return will shock you. She was told signs that will take place before Jesus returns. So if you will want to know all the signs, I encourage you to watch to the end. Note, no part has been taken out or added. I'm going to share it with you as it was sent to us. Stay to the end and be blessed. But before we continue, please let me know where you're listening from. It would be nice to feel closer, even if we're physically apart. Also, don't forget to like. It will help this video to reach so many people who need to listen to this testimony, and leave a comment. Share your thoughts about this near-death experience testimony. Let's have a fair and open discussion so we can learn from each other here on this channel, and don't forget to subscribe for more of this content coming your way. Enjoy listening. My name is Susan and I am 43 years old. I'm a wife, a mother of 3 beautiful children, and someone who went to church every Sunday. I thought I knew everything about the second coming of Jesus. I thought I had all the right answers. It all happened in June 2025. I remember making breakfast for my kids, getting them ready for school. My husband Mark was reading his newspaper at the kitchen table like he always did. Everything was normal, just like any other day. Then it started. First, I felt this strange tightness in my chest, like someone was squeezing my heart with their hands. I put my hand on my chest and took a deep breath. Just stress, I told myself. Just stress from all the housework and kids. But then the pain got worse. Much worse. It felt like someone was stabbing me with a knife, over and over again. I tried to call out to Mark, but my voice came out like a whisper. My legs felt weak, like they were made of water. The kitchen started spinning around me, and I could hear my heart beating so fast, so loud, like drums in my ears. The last thing I remember was falling to the floor. I saw my coffee cup break into pieces, and I heard my youngest daughter Emma screaming, "Mommy, Mommy." Then everything went black. Completely black. Later, the doctors told my family that my heart stopped beating for exactly 17 minutes. 17 whole minutes with no heartbeat at all. They said it was a miracle that I came back to life. But they didn't know what really happened during those 17 minutes. They had no idea about the journey I took to a place that was more real than this world. When the darkness left me, I found myself standing in the most amazing place I had ever seen. Imagine the most beautiful garden you can think of, then make it 1,000,000 times more beautiful. That's where I was. There was light everywhere, but it wasn't like the sun or electric lights. This light was alive. It danced and moved and seemed to sing without making any sound. The grass under my feet was so green and soft, like walking on the softest carpet. There were flowers of colors I had never seen before, colors that don't even exist in our world. The most wonderful thing was that I felt no pain at all. Remember, just moments before, I was dying on my kitchen floor with terrible chest pain. Now, I felt perfect. More than perfect. I felt like I was exactly where I was supposed to be. There was no fear, no worry, no sadness. Just complete peace that filled every part of me. The air itself felt different. When I breathed, it was like breathing pure joy. Every breath made me feel more alive than I had ever felt on earth. I could hear the most beautiful music, but it wasn't coming from instruments. It was like the whole place was singing. The flowers, the trees, even the light itself was making music. But then, I saw someone walking towards me. Even from far away, I could see that this person was different from anyone I had ever met. He was surrounded by light that was so bright, yet somehow it didn't hurt my eyes to look at him. As he got closer, I felt my whole being fill with love, not just feeling loved, but being made of love itself. When this person reached me, I looked into his eyes and immediately knew who he was. Without anyone telling me, without any doubt at all, I knew I was looking at Jesus, the Son of God, the one who died on the cross for all of us. But here's the thing that shocked me most. He didn't look like the pictures in my church. He didn't look like the paintings on our walls at home. His skin was darker, His hair was different. He looked like he really came from the Middle East, from Israel, just like the Bible says. His eyes were full of love, but also full of something else, urgency. He looked at me like a father who needed to tell his child something very, very important. "Susan," he said, and his voice was like music and thunder at the same time. "I have something I need you to do. You're going back to Earth, but first, you must remember everything I'm about to show you. You must tell everyone, even if they don't believe you, even if your own family turns away from you. This message is for everyone, every person in every country." I wanted to stay in that beautiful place forever. I didn't want to go back to Earth, back to pain and problems and sadness. But I could see in his eyes that this was very important. "What you're about to see," he continued, "will happen very soon. These are the signs that will come before I return to take my people home. Watch carefully and remember everything." Jesus lifted his hand, and suddenly we were looking down at the earth like we were floating high above it. I could see countries and oceans and cities full of lights. "The first sign," Jesus said, "will be in the sky for everyone to see." Then I saw it. The moon began to change color. It became deep red, like dark blood. It was huge in the sky, much bigger than normal, and it stayed that way for 3 whole nights. I could see people all over the world looking up at this blood moon. Some people were scared and running inside their houses. Others were taking pictures and posting them on their phones. Some were laughing and saying it was just natural, nothing special. But many people fell to their knees in their yards and on their streets, knowing that God was sending them a message. "This will happen in the month of August," Jesus told me. "When people see this blood moon hanging in the sky for 3 nights, they will know that time is running out. It's my final warning for people to turn back to God with all their hearts." I saw pastors in churches pointing to the sky and telling their people to pray. I saw families gathering in their backyards, holding hands and asking God to forgive them. But I also saw people on TV making jokes about it, saying it was just science, just a normal thing that happens sometimes. "Many will see but will not understand," Jesus said sadly. "They will explain it away and continue living like nothing has changed. But those who have eyes to see will know that I am calling them home." 40 days after the blood moon, Jesus continued, "Something will happen that has never happened before in all of human history." Again, he showed me the whole world. This time, I saw something that made my heart feel like it would burst with joy. All over the earth, people began turning to God. Not just a few people, not just people in churches, millions and millions of people, everywhere. In China, I saw factory workers stopping their machines and praying. In Africa, I saw whole villages gathering under trees, singing and crying out to God. In Europe, I saw young people in the streets, not protesting or partying, but praying together. It didn't matter what religion they were before. It didn't matter if they were rich or poor, young or old. Something was pulling at their hearts, making them know that they needed God. They were all seeking the same thing, the real, true God who made everything. In America, I saw huge crowds gathering in parks and stadiums. People were confessing their sins to each other, asking forgiveness from people they had hurt. I saw enemies becoming friends. I saw families that hadn't talked in years, hugging and crying together. But Jesus also showed me another side. While millions were turning to God, millions of others were mocking them. I saw TV shows making fun of the people who were praying. I saw government officials trying to stop the gatherings. I saw angry people shouting at those who were seeking God, calling them weak and stupid. "This great awakening will last for a short time," Jesus explained. "It's my final harvest, gathering everyone who will choose me before I come to take them home. But not everyone will accept this invitation. Many hearts will become harder than ever before." Then Jesus's face became very serious, and I could feel sadness coming from him. After the Great Awakening, he said, "A man will rise to power like no man before him. He will seem like the answer to all the world's problems. He will be handsome, smart, and he will speak words that make people feel peaceful and united. I saw this man. He looked normal, friendly, like someone you would trust immediately. He was speaking to huge crowds, and everyone was cheering for him. He was on every TV channel, every phone screen, every computer around the world. Watch this carefully, Susan. Jesus warned me. This man will do something that no leader in history has ever done. He will unite all the world's religions. Christians, Muslims, Jews, Hindus, Buddhists. He will convince them all that they worship the same God, just with different names. I saw religious leaders from every faith shaking hands with this man. I saw them signing agreements and documents. I saw churches changing their signs to say things like all paths to God welcome and one world, one faith, one love. Most shocking of all, I saw people in my own church, people I knew and loved, cheering for this man. They truly believed he was bringing peace and unity to the world. They thought he was doing God's work. He will use the chaos after the awakening, Jesus continued. When my people disappear from the earth, he will have an explanation that will satisfy those who are left. He will prepare them to fight against me when I return. I felt chills go through my spirit. This man looked so good, so peaceful, so loving. But Jesus was showing me that he was actually preparing people to rebel against God himself. 30 days after this deceiver takes power, Jesus said, "I will come for my people. It will be on the Feast of Trumpets, the day you call Rosh Hashanah." Then I heard it, a sound like nothing I had ever heard before. It was like the most beautiful trumpet, but louder than thunder, and it filled the entire universe. The sound went through every atom, every molecule, every part of creation. Jesus showed me what would happen when this trumpet sounds. In hospitals, I saw some patients disappear from their beds while others remained. In schools, some children vanished from their desks while their friends looked around confused. On airplanes, some passengers were gone while others were still in their seats. Cars crashed because their drivers had disappeared, but their passengers were still there, screaming. But here's what shocked me most. Not everyone who called themselves Christian was taken. I saw people in church choirs left behind while the person next to them disappeared. I saw pastors standing at their pulpits, confused about where half their congregation went. "Susan," Jesus said, looking directly into my eyes, "many people think that just calling yourself a Christian or going to church makes you ready. But I'm looking for hearts that truly belong to me. I'm looking for people who live for me every single day, not just on Sundays." The people who disappeared, their bodies changed in an instant. They became perfect, beautiful, glowing with the same light I saw in Jesus. They rose up into the sky, all of them together, like a great cloud of light heading toward heaven. Those left behind were in complete panic. The deceiver I had seen before appeared on every screen again, but this time he had an explanation for why millions of people had vanished. He told them that these people were holding back humanity's evolution, and that now the world could finally move forward in peace. Amazingly, most people believed him. Suddenly, I was back in the hospital room. I could hear machines beeping, and there were tubes in my arms. My chest hurt terribly, and I felt heavy, like I was made of stone instead of light. The beautiful place was gone, and I was back in this dark, difficult world. Mark was sitting beside my bed, holding my hand and crying. When my eyes opened, he jumped up and shouted for the nurses. "She's awake! She's awake!" But I wasn't the same person who had collapsed in the kitchen that morning. I had seen things that changed everything I thought I knew about God, about life, about what was coming to our world. The first thing I tried to do was tell Mark about my experience. I told him about Jesus, about the signs, about the blood moon and the awakening and the deceiver. I thought he would be excited, maybe even scared in a good way. Instead, he looked at me like I had lost my mind. "Susan, honey, you had a heart attack," he said gently. "Your brain didn't get oxygen for a while. What you think you saw was just hallucinations from the lack of oxygen. None of that was real. When I got home from the hospital, I tried to tell my pastor and the people at church. I thought they would understand, especially the pastor. I thought they would want to prepare the congregation for what was coming. But they reacted even worse than Mark. The pastor told me that I was being deceived by Satan, that God doesn't give visions like that to regular people anymore. He said I was causing confusion and fear in the church, and that if I didn't stop talking about it, I wouldn't be welcome there anymore. My own children started looking at me differently. My friends stopped calling. People whispered about me at the grocery store. There goes Susan, the one who thinks she went to heaven. But I couldn't stop. Even when it cost me everything, my marriage, my church, my friends, I couldn't stop telling people what I had seen. The message was too important. The time was too short. That's why I'm talking to you right now. I don't care if you think I'm not normal. I don't care if you stop listening and walk away. Jesus told me to tell everyone, and that includes you. The signs I saw are about to happen. Maybe they're happening right now as you hear this. When you see that blood moon hanging in the sky for 3 nights in August, you'll remember what I told you. When you see millions of people suddenly turning to God all over the world, you'll remember. When that charismatic leader rises to power and unites all religions, you'll remember. But here's what's most important. Being ready isn't about going to church or calling yourself a Christian. Jesus showed me that he's looking for people who really, truly love him with their whole hearts. People who talk to him every day, not just when they're in trouble. People who try to love others the way he loves us. People who forgive those who hurt them. People who live like Jesus is the most important thing in their lives. It's not about being perfect. It's about being real with God. It's about admitting you need him every single day, not just on Sundays. It's about letting him change your heart so that you love what he loves and hate what he hates. Look around at your life right now. If Jesus came today, would you be ready? Not because you go to church or because you're a good person, but because your heart truly belongs to him? The time is so short now. Shorter than you think. Don't wait for the blood moon to appear before you get serious about God. Don't wait for the great awakening to start before you turn your heart toward heaven. Don't wait for the deceiver to rise before you learn to recognize the voice of the true Jesus. Start today. Right now, wherever you are. Talk to Jesus like he's standing right next to you. Because he is. Tell him you want to be ready. Ask him to change your heart. Ask him to help you love him more than anything else in this world. And watch the sky. Watch the news. Watch as everything I've told you begins to happen exactly as Jesus showed me. When it does, you'll know that this wasn't just a crazy woman's imagination. You'll know that God loved you enough to send you a warning. But don't wait until then. Please don't wait. The time is now. The call is going out today. Jesus is looking for hearts that are ready to come home with him. Will yours be one of them? If yes, then type "I am one of them" in the comments section. Thank you for listening. If you have been blessed, please like this video. It will help YouTube to show it to more audience who need to hear about these testimonies today. Also share this video to your loved ones. It will be a great way to communicate Christ to others, and that will be the greatest gift you can give to those that you love. If you are yet to subscribe to our channel, please do so. It's free and it's a way of joining this great community of believers. Join us today and your life will not remain the same. Until next time, remain blessed.